All right, well, today is August the 14th, 2019, and right now at 9 p.m., we have a temperature of 77 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 26%. The dew point is 39 degrees, and the barometric pressure is currently 29.93, which is down slightly from this morning. Today we had very hot temperatures. It was up around 101 degrees in Van Nuys today, which is in the San Fernando Valley area. Right now it's cooled down quite a bit, but earlier today we had about 18% relative humidity. So it's warmed up quite a bit in the last, today and also yesterday was fairly warm, but not quite as warm as today. Now, we've not had any aerosol chemtrail spraying in the Southern California area since August the 6th. All right, so let's see here. August 2nd through the 6th, we had very, very heavy spraying. And then on the 7th, we had monsoonal clouds moving in from one of these storms down off of Baja. And we had very mild temperatures from the 7th all the way through the 11th. So we had pretty nice weather due to a upper level low pressure system that was right off the California coast. They call this the fake news weather reports call that a dry low. There was a dry upper level low spinning right offshore of California, which moved over, and we had very nice. It was almost like the way the fall weather used to be around here about 30 years ago. We'd have really nice, cool fall weather, and we'd have rain beginning in October and so forth, in November. But anyhow, this dry low passed over us. We had some nice weather, nice cooler weather for about 3 or 4 days. As we can see today, looking at the bigger maps, let's go to the Northeast Pacific Water Vapor Loop. We have some interesting things happening. Notice what's happening to the jet stream right here. We have about a 2,000-mile long straight edge. This is a man-made blockade right along here. Satellite transmitter generated blockade. We've got two low pressures, one spinning counterclockwise right here and one down here, and also one right down here. And we have the Hawaiian Islands right here. And so we see a very unnatural thing happening here. We have this straight edge. This is blockading all this moisture from getting into these two low pressure systems. Also, we see high pressure being installed right near the Hawaiian Islands. We can see this this big bow right here, which is dry descending air from the satellite transmitter activity, and we can see that happening right over the Hawaiian Islands. And right over here we have a disturbance with a 20% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. Let's go ahead and look at that hurricane center map. We can see the disturbance right here just to the southwest of the Hawaiian Island chain. 20% chance of hurricane formation. And so that system is being superheated right over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Central Pacific map, which includes the Hawaiian Islands right here. We can see that to the southwest we have this gigantic weather system which is being targeted. We can see the blast pattern. This area has been superheated by a satellite transmitter, and that weakens, disrupts the lift and convection in the weather system. So we've got very warm water down here, around 83 degrees, 84 degrees right along here. We put the grid on, we can see that this is right along the 10-degree latitude line. And so this system here is being targeted and superheated, and all that superheated water vapor completely disrupts the lift in the atmosphere, and these weather systems literally collapse. We can see that happening there. Let's go ahead and look at the infrared map. We can see some very interesting color change, and we see a hole open up right in the middle of this system right there where this thing is targeted. So right now, the National Hurricane Center indicates a 20% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. We'll have to see what happens. Now, a couple of days ago on the map, we had, I think it was Henrietta, or Henriette. If we go back to the, right here, we see that Henrietta was superheated. That was right over here. That storm was completely knocked down. That was a post-tropical depression yesterday. Now right here we have another disturbance right off of just southwest of the Baja Peninsula. This is another disturbance with a 30% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. So we're going to keep an eye on this one and also the one over by the Hawaiian Islands. All right, so there's nothing going on in the Atlantic. It's been very quiet in the Atlantic for the time being, so we won't show that map. But we will get back to the other maps here. Let's take a look at the, once again, the Northeast Pacific. We see this very unusual activity. This is a weather manipulation. This is the reason why we see cartoon animated weather on all the local and national television affiliates. Fox, CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, all of them. They're all not broadcasting and showing their viewers these NOAA satellite maps, the water vapor map, the infrared map. None of these maps are being shown to the public, and there's a reason for that. Every day we see very odd things occurring, but yet we're being told that carbon dioxide emissions from factories and manufacturing and cars and cow farts and all these just utterly preposterous excuses that the deep state, which controls our mainstream media in this country, which by the way needs to be taken down. These people are the enemy. Make no mistake about it. We have not only a coup going on to try to remove the president, but these incidents we're seeing around the country with these mass shootings. There's an effort to demonize gun owners and to further restrict the Second Amendment, which is unconstitutional. We're going to come to a constitutional crisis at some point here very soon, because the situation is gotten to the point where we've got desperate people trying to distract and disrupt the news cycle in order to distract from what's really coming out, and that is that we've got a very corrupt intelligence apparatus and FBI. The FBI is corrupt. It's an organized crime syndicate, as is the alphabet agencies, the CIA, and certainly the NSA has been involved in some things. There are good people in all of these agencies, and they are doing some good things by exposing, and you guys all know who I'm talking about. They're exposing the people that tried to frame the president. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on politically. The fact is that when you accuse somebody wrongfully of high crimes, that doesn't wash in this country. That won't fly, and it's not flying. And the people behind it are trying everything in the book to distract and to. Anyhow, you all know what I'm talking about. Look at here. This is the infrared map. Look what's happening here. All this moisture is being blockaded. We've got these low pressures here that are basically dry vortexes, no condensation occurring. And yet we're being told this is carbon dioxide causing climate change. Really? That's just baloney. And this, of course, is the reason why we don't see these satellite weather maps on the local and national television weather. We see the animated cartoon maps. We know that the Chicago Climate Exchange, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and the weather options and derivatives, that was set up in part by Obama, the previous president. He was involved in that. That should tell people a lot. And of course, the media, the television media in this country, and a lot of the radio stations and a lot of the print, all the major newspapers, New York Times, LA Times, the Boston Globe, the Washington Post, Washington Compost, all these big newspapers are all peddling fake news. They all need to be taken down because they're destroying the youth in our country. There's a lot of young people that don't know what's really going on here. All right, let's look here at the western U.S. maps. We've got high pressure installed right over the southwest. That's blocking this low pressure system up here. We can see everything is riding up and over this installed high pressure. This is what the maps used to look like in the wintertime, all throughout January, December, January, February, and March. We had this area of high pressure just parked in place, a stationary high. Well, we're seeing the same pattern right here in August. Last time we had any measurable rain was June 21st, the first day of summer. We had, I think it was 4/100ths of an inch. Then we had some more rain a few days later. Wasn't measurable, but nonetheless, it cooled the ground. The clouds moving in blocked the sun and cooled things down. We have a fake news network that is peddling false information about our weather. We also have shills on the internet, explaining that, trying to validate these jets that are spraying these aerosol chemtrails, and explaining that those help to block the sun. That's a lot of BS. The fact of the matter is if we let these clouds in, we get cloud cover and cool temperatures from natural clouds. We don't need the jets to be spraying these artificial chemicals in our atmosphere. We don't need that. We have natural clouds to do that job and also deliver rain. So you all know who I'm talking about. He's got about, I don't know, 80 or 90,000 subscribers now, and he's getting, around 20,000 or 30,000 views per video. Here we are actually showing some real evidence, and we're getting maybe 1,500 views because Google, who is part of this deep state op, they are suppressing these videos. If you notice, the subscriber count on this channel is still hovering right around 8,650 subscribers, give or take 10 or 20. It's always going up and down by 10 or 20. So there's some very strange things going on, not only with the weather, but with the Google people and the YouTube they're covering up. They are preventing this information here that we're presenting from going mainstream. I think that these videos should be viral. I'm talking about millions of hits per video. Here's the infrared map for the West Coast. We see all this moisture being rerouted by the installed high pressure. All this monsoonal moisture is blocked. See that here again. Everything is completely blockaded. This will all move back to the east. Here is the tropical wide shot, the water vapor loop. We see that large disturbance being superheated and imploded. And we see this part of this straight edge right here, these low pressures which are being blocked. This is the jet stream. Let's go ahead and look at the jet stream map, just for kicks, right down here. This is the jet stream map. We haven't really had much of a jet stream for many, many weeks that has any continuity. It's all broken up. There's no continuity of the jet stream. It's completely broken up. Looking at the polar jet stream, look at this. This is a mess. We see some continuity over the Atlantic Ocean into Europe, and over here, and way out on the West Pacific, we see some nice area right there, high speed, around a low pressure system probably. But nothing out here on the East Pacific. So there it is. Let's take a look at the pressure map so we can see this is the surface map. We've got high pressure installed here, blocking the low there. We've got a low indicated over Utah. This passed over us a couple of days ago. This brought us some nice temperatures. We've got a high indicated here. Let's look at the 500 map, the 500 millibar. We see some jaggy lines around that high pressure. This is squashing out that low. High pressure right here. Look at these unusual, very unnatural isobars. That indicates atmospheric manipulation by these transmitters on the ground and in the up in space. Here is the 300 millibar map. Got a high right here. Okay, that's the report for today. We'll try to get another one up real soon, and we'll just leave it right here. Look at that straight edge. Amazing. They're not reporting that on television. Okay, that's it.